I received a comment on my last video about getting funding for a business that does not have existing revenues, and that banks don't want to waste their time with you. Sasha wrote, "That's all great news for startups who already have revenue and have been in business for at least a few months. What about the new startups like myself, where I'm just starting as a brand new business and have no revenue yet, and everything comes out of my pocket?" Seems like nobody is talking about those situations, and that banks won't even give you a second of their time. It's basically impossible for a new startup. Comments like this suck because it just tells me that lenders are out there not doing their job. In this video, I want to go over the startup phase for a business that does not have revenues and the different tools that you can use to hopefully get a meeting with your lender. Now, I wrote back to Sasha and said I completely understand, and my heart goes out to any business that goes through this. In any of the positions I've ever been when I do these loans, I always take the time to get to know the business and exactly what I can and what I can't do. There's many times that I get small businesses in front of me and I do everything possible to try and get them the loan, and the bank I'm with says no. At the end of the day, it's still the bank's money, and until I'm independently wealthy and can finance these businesses on my own, I'll have to stick with that. But just because it's the bank's money doesn't mean that that person can't take the time to listen to you. You are never wasting their time. Their job is to look for loans and grow the bank. If the first response that you get is the feeling like you're wasting their time, then you're better off to go find a different bank. Trust me, there's plenty of options out there. I don't care how small a town you live in. If you can't find one in your local community, find one on the internet. There's plenty of fintech startups across the country right now that would love to do your business loan. At the end of the day, look for a lender that has the heart of a teacher and is willing to help you through the process to see your business succeed. The first step to find a lender that will, or should I say, at least should, work with you is to use the SBA tool, Lender Match. This is on the SBA.gov website. Once you fill in your information, your name, phone number, and other information, it's mass emailed to every lender that participates in the area or your zip code. If lenders have opted to join this program, then they know that businesses that are startup or need funding will contact them. At the end of the form, when you put all your information, it wants you to put a little bit about your business idea, how long you've been in business, if you're a startup, things like that. Those will go in the open memo section. Type a short description stating what you're looking for, that you are a startup, you're looking for initial funding. Hopefully after that point, you should receive several follow-up emails from lenders looking to connect. Sometimes you're just going to get an email that asks for your financial information, maybe even a blank application. Hopefully you'll get a lender that will actually give you a phone call to talk about your business and what your goals are. If none of that happens, then you're going to have to go to the more traditional way of pick up the phone and call your local banks. When you first start calling the banks, you want to ask for their small business lending department. You don't want to spend a lot of your time talking to someone in customer service, telling them all the issues you have, only to have them have no idea where to transfer you to. Have them get you to that department first and speak with someone who has some basic knowledge of business lending. Take some time to write out exactly what you're going to ask for when you talk to the bank. Or should I say, at least have somewhat of an idea how much you're going to ask for when you call. Some banks flat out in the beginning will tell you they don't do loans under $100,000 or they don't do business loans over $50,000. But that's a way that you're not going to waste your time. Don't worry about wasting their time because that's their job. Their only job is to answer questions for small business owners and look for opportunities to grow the bank. Once you finally get a lender to sit down or at least schedule an appointment with you, have your business plan ready, and the key to getting funding is going to be in financial projections. Because your business has no track record of what they've done, they have to base their lending decisions solely on what you provide them as far as projection. This can be as simple as a Word document or an Excel document, or you can go full-blown accounting software if you want. But you want to make it look as professional as possible. You want to provide something more than just written figures on a piece of paper. I'm going to put a link in the description below to a projection template that you can download from Google Docs, put in your numbers, and it'll kind of give you an idea of what the lenders are going to look for. Now, you're probably asking, where am I going to get these magical numbers to fill in a projections template? That one is going to be completely dependent on your industry. You're probably going to have to do some research by using the internet to get an idea of rough gross revenues for your type of industry. There's resources that you can find this information, such as a small business development center. They're usually located in local universities, but if you search small business development centers near you, you may be able to find one in your local community. Most of the services that they offer are free of charge or very nominal fee, but they're a great resource when you're doing research. There are some paid services that you can use, such as IBIS World, and I'll link those in the description below, where you can get general information. For more specifics on industry, you're going to have to pay something for it. Another way is to join a local small business group in your area. This may consist of businesses like you would like to start, and maybe you can meet with those owners and possibly pick their brains to get an idea of what you can expect to make revenue-wise. That's going to probably be a rough estimation, not for the gross revenues, but when you break down to the net income, only because how they operate their individual businesses and what their expenses are going to vary greatly across industries. How much they take out of the business, how much do they reinvest into the business, and how long has the business been established. Those are all going to impact your net income. But this is a good way to at least get your gross revenue numbers so that you can start by putting that in the top of the projections template and fill in any other expenses. Make sure you're keeping track of any money that you've put into the business, such as filing fees for any organization, legal fees, accounting fees, anything that you have paid in advance on starting the business, or any other miscellaneous money that you have injected into the business. This can all be used as your equity injection when you're working to get a loan. On a side note, if you're looking to reimburse yourself for any of those expenses from the SBA loan proceeds, it's extremely difficult when you put those purchases on a personal credit card. In my experience, when you have to go line by line on your credit card statement and show what was a business expense versus what was for personal use, it can be really cumbersome. It's kind of a catch-22 because you can apply for a business credit card if you don't have a business, but it's really hard to start a business without any business credit. Basically, at the end of the day, it's all about keeping good records and making sure that you account where the money goes. As a side note, if you're just starting out and you have your business established, I recommend a Nova bank account. They're an online-only, small business-friendly platform that offers the useful tools that any traditional bank does. They're federally insured, so there's no need to worry about that, and you only need $50 to open an account. I've been using them for my side business for about 6 months and couldn't be happier. They are not a sponsor, but I am an affiliate, so if you sign up, I may receive something. You can check out them below by clicking on the link in the description. They do offer a debit card, so you may be able to input that money into the account, use the debit card to buy those business purchases, so that way you have a track record in your business banking account. So now that you have your business plan and your projections, you're ready to sit down with a lender and talk about your loan. And if you want to check out a video on the structures of loan, check this one out here. But the basics are, at this point, you turn into a salesman to sell your dream to a lender. You want to talk about all the benefits and positives of your business being created, how you're going to run your business, and make sure you address any negatives that could come up. When it comes to lenders and borrowing money, the best way is to be honest on all fronts. If there's a skill that you're not strong in, bring up that topic and make sure you're telling exactly how you're compensating for it. Such as if you're not very good with accounting or bookkeeping, you're taking an online class or an in-person class to get better at it. If you can't take a class or you can't get better at it yourself, make sure you hire someone to do it for you. At the end of the day, lenders want to lend money. That's the whole point why banks are in business. And that's how they grow and pay the salaries and keep the lights on. They just want to make sure that they're being good stewards of the money of the bank. It makes no sense to make a loan that stops paying after 3 months and you have to try and collect on a loan for equipment that's essentially worthless. Banks want to make sure that you get off on the best foot possible to make your business a success. They require so much information up front, and they expect you to do the due diligence, research, and the work on your own before they hand you a large chunk of money. If you take your time, do the research, and present good quality information to your lender, it should make the process go smoothly. It may take a few tries, but eventually you will find the right person that will work with you to succeed. I hope you got a better understanding of how startups work when you don't have initial sales. And if there's any other questions about business startups, cash flow, funding, make sure you post them in the comments, shoot me an email at mysteryofmoney00@gmail.com, or join our Discord server and post the questions in there. All those links will be linked in the description below. I wish you the best on your journey. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and until next time, have a great day.